and we're going to go head straight to Helm. I wasn't supposed to take that. Oops. Not a big deal. It's faster to just swim across after taking Warp 2 instead of taking Warp 1. I was only half paying attention, so I was trying to change my stream layout. So we come down here, enter Helm lobby again. And this time we're actually going to enter Helm. For some reason, they coded it so that even if you have 100 bananas, if you walk up to B Locker in Helm lobby as anybody except Invisible Chunky, even regular Chunky, can't lower this B Locker. You have to be invisible. So you could come activate Warp 1 as Chunky, or you could activate Warp 1 as anybody, come back as regular Chunky, and B Locker won't go down. But Invisible Chunky, he's fine. So like in caves, we're going to tag Tiny and do a slope climb. This clump can kind of be annoying. He can knock you off if you're not careful. Tag Chunky again. Shoot the pineapple switch. Now we're going to clip on this terminal here. I prefer clipping on the back side. Most people prefer clipping on the front. It's really personal preference. You're just going to kind of walk into the corner, grab the edge, and pull yourself up. It's important to note when you pull yourself up, try to hold into the wall. Otherwise, you won't be able to get up. It can be pretty finicky sometimes. Come on. You have to find your bearings. You're going to walk around the room until you see this mini monkey barrel. You're going to walk perfectly aligned with this sidewall here. You're going to long jump forward, I believe it's 6 times. If you did it right, you should have gone right under Tiny's room. DK's room, you have to walk around because you're too high. So just walk around the back of it. Luckily, the camera rotates with you, so you can just hold left for most of this. The camera will eventually come back behind you. Make a slight right, and you'll end up under this walkway here. Jump back in bounds. Don't long jump around this corner. For some reason, that corner is giant, and you'll back. Tag Warp 1 just in case. Terminal 2 clip by jumping into the side of the terminal here. Walk straight forward to get out of bounds. See up, go under this walkway. Keep going as if the walkway just extended infinitely. Then you want to aim for this room back here. You can see key 8. Back clip in bounds. Can be a little tricky. Now make absolute sure before you grab the key that the window and or the door are in view. If you don't, the key will not register in your inventory, and you'll get what is called fake key. But as long as you have the camera turned so you can see these, you will be perfectly fine. So go ahead and walk through the key. After the second donk in the song, reset your game. Some people will tell you to do it after the first. Sometimes that just doesn't work. It's easier, safer to do it after the second. So donk, donk, Donkey Kong. After the second donk, just reset your console. Because we're out of main menu mode, the game can save now. So mash start to get past the rep and past the main menu cutscene. Go into your file. Take warp 1. We're going to turn in key 3 and key 8. These are the two keys that spawn the final boss. Key 8 is obvious because it's the last key in the game. Of course it's going to trigger the final boss. Key 3 because it does absolutely nothing else in the game. So they said, hey, let's just make it trigger the final boss. So now K-Lumsy is free. Sometimes he'll give us a hug. This time he didn't. As soon as you see the ship and hear the first note of the music, just reset your system again. We can skip this cutscene, it'll count as registered, and K-Rool's ship will be spawned. I'm going to go ahead and take this time to plug the all-in-one 5Kong startup package written by Tiffany Fruit and Isotarge. Because the final boss is part of any percent, this guide has an incredibly detailed guide, I guess, on how to fight King K. Rool. It is much more detailed than I will ever be able to put into words on the stream. So if you guys want to know exactly how King K. Rool works and just 100% the best ways to fight him instead of the somewhat shortened version that I will try to explain well in this tutorial, go ahead and follow that link at the bottom of the screen. And my hand's not going to show up, it's 10 there, so no, that's up, whatever. Follow the link, read the guide, it's towards the bottom. I think King K. Rool has like 3 pages in their guide. They go very in-depth on how to fight. It's a very good guide, very good read. Any percent 5Kong is one of the better beginner routes. This and any percent 5Kong are the 2 real beginner routes in K64 speedrunning. Any percent 5Kong is about, for your first run, will be about 50 minutes to an hour. Depending on your experience with the game, this one should be about 2:30 to 3 hours. If you're completely new to this game, I highly recommend you pick up both routes. They're a lot of fun, honestly. But we're going to get into DK Phase. For DK Phase, the way he's fought is he will do some shockwaves, and then barrels will spawn, like in Deadly Blast. Then you need to shoot out of the barrels at a time when he kind of reveals an opening. On the left, I have the number of punches he'll do for his opening. This is the cutscene overlap. As soon as he shockwaves 3 times, as soon as you see green on your screen, hold up when you're at the top of the turnbuckle, and you'll get immediately into the barrel, and you can just shoot right away, and he'll take the hit. So now for the second shot, we're going to wait 5 punches. 3, 4, 5. Side held the wrong direction. 1, 2, 3. That phase can be kind of trolly sometimes. If you enter the barrel at kind of a weird time, you'll get, I guess, desynced for lack of a better word. 5, 6, 7. On phase 3, his opening is really short. And so if you just have a bad time, his opening won't be long enough for you to actually shoot him. You'll have to go over him. So that's DK Phase. I do not have a text file for Diddy Phase. It's pretty simple. Funny enough, the hardest phase is also the simplest one to execute. So as he's about to shoot his first punch, you're going to run into him, backflip. I missed it, but you can land in the rocket barrel during that cutscene. It can be kind of hard to get in the rocket barrel if you miss. If he hits you at the same time you get into the barrel, you will be frozen. You're going to come up, shoot the lights. You can shoot, if you're close enough to the light, you can shoot the target on the other side. This is the setup for a double shot. You can shoot right and left. It's kind of hard to explain quickly, but you want to get into the corner of the light and get close. Be at the right height. I'm not at the right height. Luckily, if K. Rool hits you while you're like that, you usually bounce around to the other side, so it's not a huge time loss if you miss the double shot. It's not a big deal. But that's Diddy Phase. It's definitely the hardest phase in the fight. It's the easiest one to die on. Shout out to Conditioner. And it's definitely, if you're not used to the flying controls, it can be one of the more difficult ones to execute. For Lanky Phase, K. Rool has the light on his head so he can't see, so he's just going to run around like a blind fool. What you're going to do is you're going to go counterclockwise around the arena. I like to see up to adjust myself. Once these look like they're not really at an angle anymore, I leave C up. The buttons will rise, you press one, grab the barrel. In this first one, you're going to throw immediately to the right. You'll notice that K. Rool is pretty much on the banana. Take damage there, that's normal. The second switch, throw it to the right again. Again, K. Rool is right on the banana. Taking damage is normal. Keep going counterclockwise. Third one, you're going to throw left. K. Rool is going to be on the other side. This should be fine as long as he's not completely in the green corner. Again, taking damage is fine there. You're going to come to the other side here, hit this last one. You're going to get hit, so that's a problem. You want to throw that barrel at the center. It's not a huge deal that it's on the edge there, I just have to wait for him to actually be on it. Things like that, this is, in my opinion, the second hardest phase in the fight. It can, if your pattern gets off, it can be very hard to find something, and you can... If you're familiar with the phrase tilting, it is very easy to tilt in this phase. Shout out to Connor75, aka Jeff, for actually dying on here, and shout out to Hipster420 for constantly getting splatted. But now that we're out of Lanky Phase, we're pretty much on the home stretch. Tiny Phase and Chunky Phase are both very easy. For the way Tiny Phase works is he'll do shockwaves and then spawn a mini monkey barrel. Once you're in mini monkey, you go into his shoe and he'll try to attack you with toes. I have here toes.txt. The number tells you where to stand in the shoe to not take any damage. You'll notice the patterns are pretty much the same every time. Depending on which toe you want to shoot, you want to stand in a different place. So like for toes 1 and 2, we stand on the left side, toes 3 and 4, we stand on the right. Climb up here, see up and look at the ceiling for lag reduction if you're on Nintendo 64. He will do 4 shockwaves. So on VC, it's fine to come down because the game doesn't lag very much. Jump in the barrel. Dash text, this is the first time we use Mini Monkey, and go into the shoe. On Virtual Console, it's fastest to shoot his toes. On N64, it's faster to use oranges. On the next toe, I'll also demonstrate lag reduction for N64 players. Virtual Console, you can just stay zoomed out the whole time and just run around. Second phase, he will shockwave 3 times. So for lag reduction, you're going to want to put your gun away on the first toe. See up, look down, throw an orange. So for third phase, he will slam 4 times again. I'll demonstrate lag reduction again on the first toe here. So put your gun away, see up, look down. It's harder to do on Virtual Console because he's moving so fast. So see up, look down, throw an orange. That's how N64 will play this. The Virtual Console, again, you can just stay zoomed out and you're fine. Again, climb on the turnbuckle, stay up. To climb on the turnbuckle, you climb up it and then hold down, or whichever way, I guess, out of the arena is. For phase 4, he will jump 5 times. I actually think that may be a Tiny Phase world record I just got, I'm not sure. I'll have to check that in a sec. And again, just follow toes.txt that I have printed to the left. There's no shame in using this even late in your speed career. I've been speedrunning this game for almost 2.5 years, and I don't think I memorized this until about 3 months ago. And that's Tiny Phase. It's the longest one, but it's also one of the easiest. For Chunky Phase, K. Rool's gonna run around like a madman because he just wants to beat the crap out of you. He's tired of getting hurt by these little monkeys. There will be a Simeon slam switch in the middle. You're gonna slam that. We'll spawn Gorilla Gon pads on the side. The Gorilla Gon pads will spawn a Hunky Chunky barrel, and then you have to punch King K. Rool. Below, I have the different pad combinations that people use. I'm a fan of the first one, red, red, yellow, red. So that's what I'll be doing in this tutorial. So come up here, get in the barrel. For the first punch, you want to do it as King K. Rool is crossing the center of his face. You want to wait a little bit longer, but not much on N64. So I got hit, so my pattern's going to be a little bit off now. Second one, you want to do it right as he's starting to cross his face. Again, a little bit later on N64. Third one you want to do immediately as he starts moving. And for the fourth one, he's going to do kind of a sine wave across the center of the arena. Also, the fourth pad has to be red because he slowly gets rid of them over the course of the fight, and red is the last one left. He'll do a sort of wave. You want to punch as he crosses the center for the third time. So 1, 2, 3, and we're done. And that is Donkey Kong 64 no levels early. It's not an easy run, but it's very beginner friendly. Again, a good first run is anywhere between 2.5 to 3 hours. So if you're interested in running this, feel free to, if you have any questions, if you think the tutorial didn't cover something, I will be splitting this into videos based on each level. So if you have something I need to change, I really don't mind changing it because this is going to be split into 15-20 minute segments. If you have any additional questions that you feel do not need to be covered in the tutorial but you want to ask anyway, feel free to tweet at me at EmoArbiter, tweet any other runners, bother us in our chats. DK64 is a very friendly community, we're more than happy to help new runners, get their names out there, get to know them, kind of help them get good times. We're all friends here. We don't hate each other, we don't fight for records, we don't, kind of discard newer people because we feel like they'll be a threat to our times. We want people to beat our times. So I'm not going to watch the end credits, it's not really necessary for the tutorial. The run is over. If you want, you can watch the entire end credits and check your in-game time. Depending on the second counter, if it's above 24, I believe, your in-game time will be 2 minutes longer than your real time. If you are below if you are at or below 24 seconds, your in-game time will be 1 minute longer than your real time. I'm also going to take the end of this to plug weekly 5 Kong races and the guide again, because why not? Any percent 5 Kong for a long time was considered the most beginner-friendly route. I still think it's the most beginner-friendly route, with this one not far behind. It's a very short run. It's pretty much unlock all the Kongs, get key 3, get key 8, beat the game. Tiffany Fruit, also known as TJ, and Isotarge wrote a very, very in-depth guide. I believe it's 26 pages on how to run 5 Kong. So 26 pages for a 50-minute run. Very impressive. It's very detailed. It talks about how the game works, why all the tricks work the way they do. I feel like that's a good way to understand how tricks work in a game. And every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we hold a weekly race of this category. Not many people run it competitively anymore because it has been obsoleted by the current 1 Kong route. But that route is just horrible. It's not good for beginners. It's not good for anybody. Even the top runners hate it. It's just not fun. We greatly enjoy 5 Kong, and we'd love for, you know, newer runners to get out there and race with us. So shameless plug for those. I think that's about all I got. I've been talking for the last 3.5 hours. My throat is sore. I'm gonna go ahead and get off, get some food, get a lot of drinks. If you have any questions, feel free, you know, hit me up on Twitter, private message me on Twitch if you're too ashamed to ask in public, private message any runner, you know, message us on Twitter, catch us in our chats, PM us on Twitch, you know, comment on our YouTube videos. Even though most of us don't check YouTube, we'll still respond in a few days. Yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and for you newer guys who are inspired to run by this, have fun.